something you can't fix.
If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane.
It's Jay and Adam. It's Preview.
It's Preview's Fix It with Adam and Jay.
Hey, Peaches, welcome to Fix It. We're friends. Don't let friends fix pop culture alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay. And you're our listener.
Hey there, listeners.
Ho there, listeners. We're here for your air and your water and your sun, listeners. Yes, that's right.
There it is.
Listeria needs natural resources, and so we will steal them. Hooray, hooroo! We're all pirates now.
Everyone, get your bathing suits ready.
Yes,
get your floaties.
indeed.
Here comes the ocean.
You were always wondering why the decree from on high in Listeria was everyone needs to build boats. It was not an ark situation.
Nope.
It was we are taking to the seas and stealing all the resources. Woohoo! But in the fun way. I'm just saying they probably could have found some planets that didn't have people on them. That's all I'm saying.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Like, I would feel bad for all of, like, you know, the flora and fauna, but also, you know, I think there were probably some other planets that didn't have Skrull on them that they could have stolen all that air from. You know what I'm saying?
Aladdin didn't have Skrulls on him.
Yeah, I mean, we could have.
Also, we never went back to that planet to see what happened.
What, the one that with the water?
Yeah.
She said they were fine.
Did they? Did she?
Yeah. She said they'll be okay.
Oh, missed that line.
But it did. If I'm being honest, it did read as the script of someone being like, "So what happened to all the happy, fun singing people? They all dead." And they're like, "Oh, they're fine."
They sang a couple dirges and it turned out to be all right.
They're fine. No big deal.
They're
Yeah, man.
still singing and dancing.
Yo, dude, we'll get air, we'll get water, we'll get a sun. We're gonna steal one of the dimensions, all of their R-base.
Sure.
Yeah, man. Now we have the meats. Blistarians, they have the meats, and we shall have them.
To me, my meats.
Yes. Open the portal
To the meat dimension.
How big of a portal do we need? Big. How big? For big beef, baby. What about the cheddar, sir? We didn't account for the cheddar.
Open a portal to the cheddar dimension.
All the little cheese people running.
Cheese it.
Welcome to Fix It. This is our podcast. I'm Jay, that's Adam. You may know us from the wildly successful YouTube reaction channel Previewed, which we're currently on right now. But this is our podcast, Fix It, where every week Adam and I take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe didn't quite get there, maybe just didn't have another bangle, and we fix it. And this week we are going to be fixing 2023's classic Marvel film, The Marvels.
It's a classic now.
I mean, no, that's just kind of
yeah.
what you say. That was more of just a turn of phrase rather
Sure.
than an actual.
I mean, how many Marvel movies came out last year?
I think this may have been right.
I think there was like 2.
Did
of
we
them?
get?
That's the problem that we can't even remember.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I think something clinically happened with our perception of time during the pandemic.
Sure.
And I'm not being flippant. I'm not making a joke about it. I'm an avid podcast listener, and I went back and a show that I like does like a year-end pop culture roundup.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And they're good episodes, and they're a little bit longer. And I was just looking for something. I was like, oh, you know what? Like, let's just go back and listen to the 2021 pop culture roundup that happens at the beginning of the year. And the way they were talking about 2021, it made my brain hurt. Because I processed all these things happened, but I couldn't mentally put it in the box of what year it was in. If that makes any sense. I was like, oh yeah, that happened culturally. It happened in like this amorphous blob of time that didn't technically exist. Did Guardians come out in 2023?
I'm looking it up. I think it did. Ant-Man Quantumania came out in February.
Yeah.
Guardians came out in May.
So
Spider-Verse came out in June, but that's Sony stuff. So
yeah,
so
and
the Marvels.
And also changing changing my
Guardians
career so drastically during that time frame as well.
I'm never watching Guardians again. God, I can't watch that movie.
It's it's incredible.
Oh, it's
maybe one of the best Marvel movies of all
so good,
of them.
but I just can't handle
No.
Rocket's storyline.
No,
It's just
it's too much.
It's too much.
but he overcomes it.
I know he does. It's good, but I can't watch.
No, I
that.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Guardians felt so, and Quantumania felt a long time ago.
Yeah, I seriously think something actually legitimately happened with our process, like our time processes, because like fidelity of time holds no water in. I mean, especially now that we're doing what we're doing, it's like, you know, reaction content, we're responding to whatever's coming out.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is like we're just kind of taking it as it comes, and like what time of year it is, and like what's actually going on in the world, like doesn't hold a ton of weight. And so like
This thing happened when Loki came out.
I fully didn't even realize just like how disjointed I was linearly until I listened to that, and I was like, oh yeah, that was 2021.
You're a man on
That
time
was
right
a
now.
year.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that feels like 8 years ago, but it also feels like last week. What's happening? Anyways, wow, sorry not to give everyone an existential crisis as you're driving into work.
Now you know how the doctor feels.
Yeah, man. Ugh. Yeah, but at least, but that comes with the territory.
Of a Time
You know what I'm
Lord.
saying?
Sure.
That's on the contract.
I'm sure this in Time Lord school they had a class about that.
Yeah.
How to handle
Hey,
the-
you exist outside of time, and that just needs to be okay. It's my favorite thing about Doctor Who when people are like, "Hey, you're a new doctor. Oh, you got a new face." It can't be every time that we get a new doctor that everyone's like, "Oh, you got a new face." I'm like, you may have already there should be more opportunities for him to show up for the first time, for people going, "Oh yeah, we've met many times. Many times have we met, and you haven't been that polite every time." If I'm being honest with you, sir. Like, they're always like, "Oh, new face?" And I'm like, how is everyone also seeing him for the first time? This guy exists outside of time.
Sure.
And they're like, "Oh, the doctors are getting together. It's a special thing." I'm like, it should happen all the time. It should happen
It's not
all
supposed to.
the time. It's happened enough times on Christmas that it indicates to me that it's not really that big of a deal.
Okay, true enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's just like every time Christmas rolls around, they're like, David Tennant, he's chomping at the bit over there. He keeps just hanging out outside the set. I guess we gotta let him in and put his little shoes on, because
little sand shoes.
Because he won't go away until he gets to Allons-y his way into this episode.
Oh well.
I'm not mad about it. I do think it was a little bit of a cop out, but it was a good cop out.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, they did a good job.
They did a very good
Still
job.
was kind of a cop out, but whatever. Neither here nor there.
No.
We're fixing the Marvels this week, but before we get into fixing the Marvels, which honestly we just watched, we just did a full watch along on the main channel. We did our full movie watch along. If you'd like to check out the full watch along, you can watch along with us on our Patreon. Check out the link down below for that. Which is, it's actually, we had a great time.
We like this movie.
We had a lot of fun at this movie. This movie has some serious issues that needs to be fixed. Like, my issue with this movie is that I just don't think they gave us enough.
They did not.
So, like, we had a great time. And I think this movie, and honestly, from the comments we've been getting on the reaction, if anything, I think a lot of people were just really afraid to say that they had fun at this movie.
Yep.
Because there was so much online hate for this movie that people were like, "Oh, I'm glad you guys had fun. I really had a lot of fun too, but I wasn't sure." And I was like, "Yeah,
the silent majority of people who enjoyed this film."
I feel like we like us doing a first time reaction to it and having a good time, like, was actually like community service to some degree.
Yeah.
Be like, "Hey guys, it's okay. It's okay to like this movie. Like, it's yeah." They just needed the problem was they didn't give us enough, and in the grand scheme of things, that's a good problem to have.
Yes.
But before we fix the Marvels,
Before we do that,
we had come to everyone's absolutely most favoriteest of segments. It's called Roll for Convo. Adam and I are deepening our friendship and deepening the lore that is our relationship.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I feel like every time we do this segment, we come out with something new about what's going on.
what's going on in our little craniums?
Yeah.
This is what's bouncing around in there.
Yeah, man. That your team wheels in a way that I just like can't fundamentally wrap my head around. But anyways, I digress. It's Roll for Convo. Our producer Brian has given us 20 topics of conversation, and I'm going to roll a 20-sided die to figure out what this segment is going to be about. And this is the most divisive of segments because there are people that just post the time code of when to switch to the actual conversation about the actual show. And then there's other people that are like, I just like the conversation, and then I kind of bail. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well,
so
thanks for watching.
No one's really sure what part of this show they like. And you know what? That's fine. We do something for everyone.
Unity!
That is a gentleman's 4, my friend.
Oh, okay. Okay. Uh-oh. This ought to be... Okay. If you lived in a fictional world or universe as a regular citizen, which do you think you would succeed in the most?
Succeed in?
Yep. So success is defined by you.
By me as a human being, like
Yes.
Jay Schmidt?
Yeah. Whatever your level of success is, whatever you want to be success. If you lived in a fictional world or universe as a regular citizen, which do you think you would succeed in the most?
Okay.
Or succeed the most in?
I think Jay Schmidt, Jay Schmidt, would succeed as me as a person in a fictional world. It'd probably be like the D&D world. Here's why.
Okay.
When it comes to bards, words are magic. And I feel like I don't always have something important to say, but I say things in a fun way that sometimes feel magic.
Sure.
So I feel like I would be really good at bard magic. I feel like I would do really, really well at that. But then I'd have to do vicious mockery, and then it has to be an insult.
Oh,
and it has to be mean.
Oh.
I don't want to cast that spell.
No?
But I'm just saying,
I think you'd be really good at that.
I think if we're existing in a world in which music and eloquence is magic, I feel like I'd do really well in that world.
Especially when you can get magic and not have to study it, and you just kind of are.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. For those of you following along at home who are D&D nerds, I am a sorcerer at heart. That's my subclass. Adam is a wizard. We both are we both have magic. One of us just has to work a lot harder to have it.
Wizard. If you are up to date with Critical Role, I'm definitely Prism and I are definitely on the same team when it comes to how we feel about magic. She is my spirit animal, and I believe everything she said. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. Team Prism. Here we go.
Yeah, man. You have all of your spells on external hard drives, and you...
Wait. There we go. Prepared for the day. Let's go.
All right. Boop.
Boop.
What about you? What world do you think you succeed in?
I'm thinking Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
You're just going Star Trek for base universal income. You're going Star Trek. You just want Star Trek for the socialism.
Think about it, Jay.
You know I'm right.
I pointed to the camera and smiling, denoting your correctness. Think about it, Jay. We could just do this with no concerns. We could be, because also the Federation seems like they really just need entertainment.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be, we don't see a lot of entertainment in Star Trek.
Yeah.
So like, there's a whole galaxy of people to entertain.
Yeah.
So like, a lot of people out there. We got the subspace network to proliferate on.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there is
a
lot of comedy could be had in that universe.
I don't know, man. Star Trek doesn't strike me as if that universe really makes good television. You know what I mean?
They could use it.
It just seems everyone in the Star Trek universe seems a little like dry toast in a way that I'm like, did they get the Office here? Like, did they ever get is there anything funny about Star Trek ever?
I think there probably is, Jay.
I would hope so.
And we would be the ones being able to do it.
Do you know what I think? What
and
fictional
also
world,
have all our cares and needs handled.
You know what fictional world I think you would succeed in?
Okay, what?
I think you'd do well in the Pokemon universe.
Okay, why is that?
You just you like creatures.
I do love them very much.
Yeah, you're good at creatures. I think you'd like
bad creatures.
Yeah, I think you'd like Not necessarily the fighting, but like the general, like the Pokemon husbandry, as it were. I think you would really enjoy. I think you'd be like a Pokemon breeder or something. You'd be like good at.
Maybe. I don't like farms though. My dad would do well in the Pokemon universe. He grew up on a farm.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I just think you would. Yeah, but I think you could get over it if it would be about like caring for.
Possibly.
I think you'd like it. And also, if they're bothering you, just put them in the ball.
Put him in the ball.
Get in the
ball.
ball.
Don't let me get that ball.
Sometimes I worry that you'd keep me in a ball if you could.
I wouldn't keep you in a ball.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. What fictional world do you think I would be good
Well, I
in?
mean, also Pokemon. Because you said
I don't know, man. I don't think
there's a
I
lot
would-
of fictional worlds
I
out
don't
there.
think I'd be okay if they got hurt in the fight, though. But I'd make them fight.
I know that you would.
I mean, look. You don't when in Rome.
Sure.
You're going in that ring. You know what I'm saying? Dude, go on, get in there.
Well, I mean,
But I'd also be very sad if they got hurt.
other universes we'd probably do well into the Dresden verse. Because that
I don't know. I don't think so.
As long as you didn't live in
No.
Chicago. Well,
No.
magic's in the background, though.
Magic's
in the background.
but it's very visceral, and the consequences are life and death.
Sure.
I think I'm too. I think I'm
assuming
too
we're
soft
remember,
for the Dresden
remember we're
universe.
regular citizens. We're not in any of the crazy or major storylines. We're just normal people.
Yeah, but then that's just Chicago.
Yeah.
You could say that we do great in the Family Matters universe then.
They probably
as well.
would, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's, it's the bigger love of the family. You know what
Sure.
I'm saying? Dresden Files. Well, it's a rare condition this day and age, killing the vampires. I don't think I do well in that world. I appreciate your point. I appreciate the confidence you have in me, but I think I think I would get tricked by the Fae like kind of immediately.
Oh.
Yeah, they're tricky, man. They're tricky.
They are tricky. As long as you didn't want to. I mean, we're regular people. The Fae don't really mess with regular people.
I think I would have done well at Hogwarts.
Really?
Yeah, I
Just
just
like it's a normal, regular.
I like the tradition of things, and I
Okay.
like the yeah. I think I would have really gotten into that. I think I would have gotten really like. I envision that like my parents. I'm weirdly a Gryffindor. It doesn't. I know people. I just assume I'm a Hufflepuff, but I've taken the test numerous times, and I've like really like soul searched about it, and I think I'm like kind of a Weasley style Gryffindor vibe. And I don't like being Gryffindor. Like I don't like being the because dude, every time you ask someone, it's like, oh, what Harry Potter is? I'm like, I'm Gryffindor, and I'm like,
Shut up.
shut up, Trent. You are not like
You're probably
you're
a puff.
you're probably right. But I will say there are a lot of Diggory-esque puffs out there that think they're in Gryffindor.
Oh.
And they really haven't soul searched
Sure.
this question.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I know that's a normal thing for an adult human to do is to not soul search this stuff.
Interesting.
It's like when I figured out, I was like, you're not a Michelangelo, you're a Raphael, dude. And that's just, and you're going to have to remedy that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah. But I think I would get really into like my parents, like I'd be a legacy Gryffindor, and it would be like a big part of my personality as a kid, and I think I would have gotten really into it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would be an amazing, like, much like Hermione eventually becomes the Minister of Magic, like, because it's all learning the spells.
Yeah, it's math.
It's math. It's learning the stuff.
Yeah.
And people can be inherently magical, but, like, you need to still learn how to do the things, unlike sorcerers who just kind of, I'm just doing things.
Yeah, dude.
So I would definitely probably excel at that. But I'm a Diggory puff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any. I would just been spending time in the room of requirement, playing like Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay.
It was the 90s.
Sure.
Who's to say? Yeah, they're like, oh, we don't have technology here. I'm like, go to the room of requirement, play air hockey. You tell me I can't play air hockey?
Sure.
I'll show you. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, make the room of requirement a Dave and Buster's. Come on,
I mean,
come on. Tell me that doesn't sound like
how
a
is
great
Dave and
time.
Buster's not in
Also,
Hogsmeade?
Dave and Buster's, steal this. You should put a Dave and Buster's on the Universal property somewhere and just have it be the room of requirement. Yeah, that's good. Woo! That's lighting me up. I'm
Sure,
feeling really
yeah.
good about that.
Mhm.
Huh? Yeah, dude. Anyways, that's been roll for convo.
What? Real quick, the universe I definitely do not want to be in. Star Wars.
No. Yeah, it doesn't sound like anyone. No one has ever.
That's terrible.
You know what you never see happen in Star Wars? Someone have a balanced diet. No one is having a complete meal. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, you're right.
I guess, yeah, they're eating off the food pyramid. It's the actual pyramid. They're eating triangles.
Mm-hmm.
It's not food. No one. When was the last time you ever saw someone eat a delicious cheeseburger in Star Wars? You know what Star Wars also doesn't have? Dave and Buster's. Doesn't have it. It doesn't have it. No thanks. If Harry Potter's got it, Star Wars should get it too.
Mm-hmm.
But lightsabers, dude.
Yeah. But we're regular citizens, man. I think
lightsabers can cover a multitude of sins, I will say. It's a sword that can cut through basically anything.
Sure.
With lasers.
But we don't have those, Jake, because we're not
eat
Jedi.
Squares and triangles for a laser sword.
You can roll the opportunity to possibly be force sensitive enough?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Because you know where I can go with a lightsaber?
Anywhere.
Anywhere I want.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere I want. Sir, Sir, you're not wearing shoes or a shirt. We deny service. I'm getting into this Dave and Buster's. You're going to let me in. Okay? Anyways, that's been a roll for Convo. Everyone's favorite segment. Don't you guys all feel closer together?
Fellowship.
That's right. Fellowship. Putting the ship in fellowship because we're headed to the stars and stealing atmosphere. All right, so the Marvels.
The Marvels.
We are fixing the Marvels this week. We're moving into kind of our a little like newer format for the show. This is a little bit more of a duo fix. It's a little bit more of a dialogue now. And then we're trying some new stuff out. We had a
lot of fun last week.
We had a lot of fun last week.
Fixed Secret Invasion.
Fixing stuff together. So Brian has some thoughts, but we're going to talk about it on Tuesday. But this is how we're doing it. This is how we're doing it this week because Chaboys have had a lot going on.
There's so much content to make.
Guys,
so many shows.
You pretty much made us do Has Been, and we're not complaining.
No, it's
very good. Mm-hmm. But we were like, all right, five episodes a week, all right, everybody, and everyone was like, oh, okay, and then they were like, but like. Has Been out there? I'm like, we're back to one every day. Shoot my goot. What can you do? It's a good problem to have. Anyways, so the Marvels. We're fixing it together. Before we get into like the Marvels writ large, drink everybody. Writ large. That's 5 shots for everybody. Enjoy. Clack, clack. Nancy. Let's cut to our producer Brian for everyone's favorite segment to learn a little bit more about the Marvels. Brian, why don't you roll that beautiful bean fun fact footage?
Thank you, gentlemen. Producer Brian here. And yes, I do have thoughts, but today we're going to try and fix 2023's MCU sequel, The Marvels. Directed by Nia DaCosta and starring Brie Larson, Teyonah Parris, and Iman Vellani, The Marvels is a combination sequel to Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, WandaVision, and a little bit of everything else. I guess even Secret Invasion? Sort of? Maybe? Anyway, watch our Secret Invasion episode. This movie cost $274.8 million and only grossed $206.1 million at the box office. It made $84.5 million in the US and Canada. Here are some fun bean facts. It is the lowest grossing MCU movie and needed to make $439.6 million to break even. Zawe Ashton, who plays Dar-Ben, is engaged to another MCU baddie, Tom Hiddleston. The boys previously mentioned this. Now, the Brie Larson cameo in Ms. Marvel was footage from this movie's shoot and was a surprise to both the director DaCosta and the Ms. Marvel directors when it appeared at the end of the Ms. Marvel finale. This movie's opening weekend made $46.1 million. This is both the lowest grossing opening weekend for an MCU movie and the highest grossing opening weekend for a black female director. Many attribute this film's failures to the general superhero fatigue, the inability to market it the way they wanted to, the strike overall, the overexposure of MCU content on Disney+, and of course other craptastic factors. And if you care, this movie has a 62% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 2.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Like the gentleman, I had a blast with this movie and so much fun watching it. Anyway, back to you, gentlemen, and please have a great time with your fixes. Thank you.
Well done, Brian.
Well said, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
You are a wise sage. You are the religious leader of Listeria. You have created a sect and a cult amongst your own. The Producers.
The Producers?
The Producers, yes.
What did the Producers do?
They're
Jay?
like Knights Templar, but for mostly Brian Plofsky related things.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I picture them all wearing very creepy masks.
Yeah. Mask work is part of Brian's whole steez. He'll tell you. He will tell you. There was one time where he told me he was going to start making masks and trying to sell them at Comic-Con this one time.
Really?
He makes a good mask. He really does a good job. He could have done it, but it was one of those things where I was like, oh, okay. We were in our 20s. We were searching,
Sure, yeah. Throwing everything at the wall.
Yeah.
Even masks.
We're trying,
Makes sense.
That's how it goes. Anyways, Brian, you can edit that out if you want. You don't have to keep that in. I'll just goof it on you. But the Producers part, you got to keep. I'm so sorry.
Party, new lore.
New lore, baby. New
Try
lore.
to keep the boosters away from the Producers.
Yeah, there's a lot of different.
There's some tension between
it's
those
a
groups.
rich land of Listeria.
It's
a rich,
and it's becoming richer per episode.
It's a rich tapestry of cultures and peoples.
It's hard to keep track of.
Oh,
all the
I
lore.
love it. Yeah,
we need the
and
lore
birds.
master for Listeria.
Yeah. Anyways, we should probably tell people who have not seen the Marvels.
Which was a lot of people.
A lot of people. It did not do well at the theaters. In our everyone's absolute favorite segment, plot drop, and I'm gonna be doing plot drop.
Jay's
today.
doing plot drop this time.
So the Marvels. Here we go, as quickly as possible.
Yes.
In the Marvels, we've got Captain Marvel, we've got Miss Marvel out in Jersey City, and we've got, what name does she go by?
I don't think she picked one.
Okay, we have Monica. We have Lady Rambeau. And she has been given powers through Scarlet Witch's Hex, which they didn't exactly explain very effectively. She's able to see the spectrum of light and absorb and manipulate it. That's another problem, but we can talk about that in a little bit here. Mm-hmm. Features are our three favorite ladies. And Monica is working on the space station Saber with
Sword.
Oh, is it?
It's Sword, dude.
What is Saber then? Why do I keep saying
it's
Saber?
Something else, but it's Sword.
Oh,
Sword.
Sword.
I am Sword. Sword.
Feeling good on a Wednesday. I am Sword. So she's working on the space station Sword and helping repair it. She's working as an astronaut. She made her dream come true that she wanted to have happen. And she goes out and sees an anomaly out in space and touches it. It is an anomaly that is created by Darben. And her touching that anomaly links with Captain Marvel, who is also experiencing another anomaly in another plane of existence, which and then also attaches her to Miss Marvel because of the bangles that Darben was attempting to find something, found the other bangle, and is using it to power up her abilities. A quantum bracelet, as we have learned. And so while Captain Marvel is trying to stop Darben and wherever she is up to, where is she at that point?
She got Darben, the opening shot, gets the bangle, puts it on, makes the hyperspace jump, which draws Carol.
That's right.
Which everyone then touches and gets linked.
Yes.
And then Darben bounces to the Kree thing, or to the Skrull thing.
The Skrull planet.
Carol's a step behind because she shows up.
Yes, she is on their trail, and every time that they use their powers at the same time, the three of them swap places. And so in Carol trying to get to the ship, hijinks ensue because Monica and Kamala continue to swap places with her.
That's a very fun fight scene.
Which is it's one of the best fight scenes in all of Marvel. It's really, really fun. What a concept.
Monica phased through a guy to punch him. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She punched a guy away, then flew through him when he was falling away, and then punched him again.
Because awesome.
Because she's awesome.
And so they figure out Darben's plan. She is a Kree officer a la Ronin with a similar hammer. And we find out through Carol that her going and destroying the Supreme Intelligence after the events of the first Captain Marvel basically led to the Kree world of Hala collapsing and their sun going out and all of their natural resources drying up. And so we find out that Darben is attempting to steal natural resources from other planets. They arrive at a planet where she is going to steal the atmosphere, and she deals with a large group of Skrulls, and it does not go well for the Skrulls or our heroes as well. She opens a portal at the top of the planet and like sucks all their air out, which is kind of a total baller move. You got to give her credit.
I guess, sure. I mean, physically, it wouldn't actually solve the problem. I was thinking about
Again, I feel like there's plenty of other planets she could have just gone that were completely uninhabited and probably just stolen their.
Awesome. You just wouldn't get the entire atmosphere because it would eventually reach equilibrium.
Oh yeah, it would. But you get enough.
Would you? I don't know.
It really depends on how big Hala is.
If Hala is smaller than the planet, then they probably might get enough. But at a certain point, it would just be like water finding the enough, taking the shape of the container that it's in.
All right, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Here we go. All right. Anyways,
The same.
so they fail to stop her.
Yes.
Go back.
A lot of people die.
And
They
lick-
left a lot of people. It was really sad.
Yeah, and they go back and lick their wounds and figure out a plan and figure out where Darben is going next. And it's a water planet where all the people sing. And apparently, Carol is a princess, which I think is magnificent. I loved that sequence. And they attempt to stop Darben again and fail yet again.
But they were closer.
They were closer this time.
They almost got her.
And that's when Darben becomes aware of the fact that Kamala has the other bangle. And so it amps up their strategy a little bit. It amps up the stakes a little bit more. And then we find out that Darben is coming to Earth to steal our sun.
Oh, no.
And then we fight her. We have to save the Sword space station by use of a bunch of Flurgles.
Flurkins.
Man.
Flurkittens.
Flurkittens?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Flurkins.
Because Goose laid a bunch of eggs.
Yeah.
That had little baby Flurkins in them.
Flurkins, and they save everyone on the Sword space station as it's crashing. And our heroes inevitably stop Darben as she gets both bangles and can't handle the power, but opens up a wildly too large rift. And Monica sacrifices herself.
A rift to where, Jay?
A rift to another dimension.
Yes.
Yes.
It wasn't a hyperspace jump point. It was actually a rift in reality.
Yes, it was a reality. It was exactly what caused Monica to have her powers in the first place. So everyone was like, "Man, why can't Darben got destroyed creating this multidimensional portal, but Monica's fine." And I'm like, "Yeah, Monica is technically a interdimensional being at this point. Like her crossing through the hex, twice, is a she didn't just change her own genetics, she changed the reality of her body, which is buck wild.
Yes.
So she is a dimensional being. That's why she was able to survive that. People kept bringing that up. I was like, what are you like, guys? You're not paying attention at all. They should the movie have mentioned it? Yeah,
A little bit more? Yes.
yes. And Monica wakes up and we see Beast, and she is in the X-Men mansion. So they are,
And her mom's there.
and her mom is
Goes
there.
by the name of Binary.
Yeah. 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 That seems a little oversimplistic, but that really is the movie.
No, that's the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in Plot Drop. I always feel like I meander too much during Plot Drop, but but I meander. That's kind of my whole thing.
Sure, yeah, it's kind of your vibe. It's your steez.
Yeah, it's my yeah. I like the way you said that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you really put some stank on that steez.
Well, that's your
I loved
steez,
it.
man.
So, we're fixing the Marvels.
So let's real quick. The things we really enjoyed about this movie is the heart of this movie.
Yes.
The relationship between these three ladies was awesome. Could there have been a little bit more? We could
Yes.
spend more time with them?
Yes.
Absolutely. But what they gave us was good. It was quite good. Carol is so much better in this movie than any
She's so much more likable.
Yes. Any previous movie she's been in is she didn't have enough time.
No.
This has been the best characterization of Captain Marvel in the universe so
I would
far.
argue this still wasn't enough time.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Only because of the way they told their story.
Yeah.
If they told the story slightly differently, they could have been even better than what it was.
Well, we are also working in a world in which we just fixed Secret Invasion, and we put Monica in Secret Invasion.
Yes.
So we are working with a universe in which we have a more as an audience of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we are working in the headcanon that we have fleshed out Monica further in a previous show. So
Kind of on her own with her powers,
yes,
but not so much with the Carol situation.
not so much with the Carol situation, because that is the heart of their dynamic in this movie, and it was not sufficient how
was
they
not.
gave it to us.
It was not.
Like the one moment that there was really an emotional moment and they finally gave Captain Marvel like an actual legitimate emotional conversation, it fell flat because it just didn't have enough
Build up to it.
The moment itself was a good scene.
Yes.
There just wasn't any scaffolding to get up there, which is really, really frustrating. So honestly, like the things that I would like to have happen in this fix today, the way that my biggest issue with this movie is that I would like to flesh out. I think Kamala served her purpose perfectly.
Kamala was great.
There could have been a little bit more of an arc to her, but also she got her own show.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she doesn't need as much. And she's also they're using her to start the Young Avengers.
Yeah, she got her own show and is the future of the MCU.
Yeah, I think Miss Marvel sits in a perfect place in this movie.
Yes.
I would like to fix the dynamic between Monica and Carol. And I would like to fix the dynamic between Carol and our villain.
Yes.
That for me is the heart of where this movie goes wrong. And that's like kind of the Achilles heel.
Yep.
Did you have like any other big major notes on that?
Is the villain.
Yeah.
We don't understand the problem with this movie.
She just shows up.
The first scene of the movie is random, just this random character. We don't know who she is. Shows up, finds a statue, bonks the statue with a hammer, finds Kamala's other bracelet. We don't know her name yet. We don't know what's going on. Puts it on. It's like, we know that's probably bad.
Yeah.
Also, what's this bracelet doing here when the other one was on Earth? We don't. Huh? Are we gonna pick this story up later? Cause we should.
Yeah.
How did they get separated?
When you have a character that is also really tied to the actions and origin story of your main hero in this movie, it really seems like an oversight not to expound upon that.
Well, there were, if you remember in Miss Marvel, that when they had that flashback episode
Sure.
to the partition, when Kamala's great grandmother was getting with the other Jinn, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
And they were in that temple. We saw a a blue arm under rubble.
Oh, that's right.
So I was like, oh, okay, so there's some type of Kree's. Interesting. Okay, but that didn't really, they didn't mention this. They just showed the audience a blue arm under rubble. It's like, oh, that's a Kree, right? And then now there's in a statue, there's another one. What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But who is this character getting this? And she just opened up a warp point. Okay. What? Huh? What's even happening?
Yeah. And I feel like we have, and I feel like the main thing that we're going to be trying to fix today is that, and this is something we were talking about before I even started recording. I would just like I am tired of seeing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm tired of seeing scenes of people dealing with the ramifications of actions that we didn't see as an audience member. I'm over it. I would like to make, I think this plot is great.
Yep.
I think if you just make all of the things, it's like we were talking about with Secret Invasion. If you make like the actions that have consequences, active choices in this movie, I as an audience member care more. So therefore, just to get the ball rolling with this, I'm not sure how you're seeing this movie start, but I think this movie starts with Carol trying to help and save people on a Kree that is actively falling apart.
Hala?
Hala, yes. Actively trying to save and help people on Hala. And we as an audience member do not understand why everyone on Hala is terrified of her and doesn't want her help.
Oh, okay. I actually start my movie with her going to the central and going to Hala, busting through everybody. Because remember, her entire existence with the Kree has been all manipulation.
I thought this is where your point was going to be, and I have my reasoning, but I also see yours.
Because like her first movie ends with letting Jude Law go, and so you tell the Supreme Intelligence that I'm coming, and he just flies off, and then we never actually see her go to Hala. We see it in a flashback, but it's like she flies into a building, blows up a thing we don't understand, and bounces.
I will say this: my only thought process is that we see Captain Marvel being Captain Marvel in such a way that this sequence would leading up to what we were talking about earlier, her trying to help and it not going anywhere, and someone mentioned and then her attempting to reignite the sun in that solar system and failing, only so we can use we can make the flashbacks of her destroying Hala while they're in the mind space like an active and shared experience with the other two.
Okay.
So they understand, just to heal Monica and Carol a little bit.
This is why.
So Monica can understand Monica, I failed so spectacularly. But I think we can achieve it with you. I think yours might be more active.
How about this?
Okay.
Because because the very important thing that this movie did not give us was the backstory of Hala.
Yes.
Granted, when in our reaction we were talking a little bit during the scene where Darben's like, "Dream, I brought the people to Civil War and blah blah together," but it was a very short scene that she's just talking about the things we've overcome and now we got to get the resources instead of showing us Hala disintegrating.
Yeah.
So my thought is, coming off of what you just said of using the flashback machine or the flashback machine later on to heal their Monica and Carol's relationship, to show like what happened, is that we could show her attempting to go back and fix what she did.
Just flip it
a little bit.
I love this. Okay.
So
yes,
movie opens, we see Carol flying to Hala. And she shows up being like,
hell, start this movie literally right where she's like right where the Captain Marvel leaves off. Just like boom.
I mean, it's a year or so later. She's trying to help the Skulls, trying to find a place, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go and make sure that no one else is gonna hunt you guys down. I'm gonna go take out the Supreme Intelligence.
Yeah, it's
time. She goes to Hala. She fights through some people, and it's like, I am trying to save you. The system that you guys are working under, manipulated me and is manipulating you. It's keeping you in a state of war. I'm doing this for your own good. Kind of right, but also at the same time, she's not thinking about the ramifications.
No.
But she fights through a bunch of people. She doesn't kill them because she doesn't have to, because she's crazy powerful now.
Yeah.
She gets to the Central Intelligence. We maybe see a quick conversation there about how you tried to stop me before. This isn't going to work. I'm taking you out. You deserve this.
Yes.
How dare you kept these people, blah, 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 blah. We get Carol's statement of this is why I'm doing this. It's like 50-50, like personal, but also like, no, she has a point. You are not a source of good.
Yeah.
Takes out the central the Supreme Intelligence and bounces out. But the camera stays on Hala.
Oh, okay.
And then we see Hala devolve.
Yeah.
To a point of like, we can kind of, we can just kind of do like a quick montage of like, Civil War breaking out, blah, blah, blah. And then we can see Darben rise up to be like, we should stop fighting each other. We are not the enemy here. We know who the true enemy is. It's Captain Marvel. And that's where we get to the
I think we have we
opening
have
credits scene.
Captain destroying the Supreme Intelligence, but just to make it a little bit more active, I think we have our Darben character is like one of the the security officers for that for specifically the Supreme Intelligence. And I think Darben tries to take pity on the intelligence to some degree and is trying to save it. And she's like, "You don't know what you're doing." And the Supreme Intelligence isn't just about what you're saying. I think there's an ideological conversation between the two of them, and I think that there's a it's almost like a might makes right kind of situation.
Sure.
And we see Carol kind of at her worst a little bit.
Yes,
I think
this is revenge.
Yeah, this is not about she's making it seem like this is about quote unquote justice and the moral high ground, but this is really just about revenge. And I think we see Darben rises off of everyone's fear of Captain Marvel, but she also experienced it firsthand. The sun brings life, but it also can burn you pretty quick. So I think that's okay.
But we have to see. I think at least to make the story hit later on, we need to see the ramifications happening on screen of Hala devolving into Civil War, and then whatever the resources and the sun kind of going out. We have to see that happen early.
Yeah.
So that we understand who Darben is and why she's rallying her people against Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Because Captain Marvel's the bad guy. We need to understand them, why they're going after her.
And I think that's the themology I want to I think the sun themology is kind of what I want to kind of permeate the whole movie. Because I think the whole aspect of this is a wildly powerful force that can bring life. But it's a very delicate balance. Any closer or farther away from this power, it means death. It's the consequences are of changes to this, and utilizing this improperly is huge.
Well, you're actually just stating the Superman problem. That's how you make Superman compelling. He's all powerful, but what does he do with it?
Yeah.
How does he negotiate that needle, the eye of the needle of how to be able to not oppress people or do too much or do too little?
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility, and he's got to figure out where that line is. And Carol stepped over it at the beginning.
Yes.
And she couldn't get it back through those 30 years she was gone. And she kept trying.
But she kept trying.
But she couldn't do it.
And she kept failing.
And she kept failing.
Yeah. That's really good and really compelling. And that makes... And you're also... this is also coming from the way they've at least shown it to her. She's a hotshot pilot. She's the Golden Girl. And she's really trying to Golden Girl her way across the galaxy. And she's literally just making everything way worse. She's really not helping. That's good. That's very compelling. And then I think we start
because then Captain Marvel's, she's the bad guy. We have to stop her, and also we have to save Hala.
Yeah.
Well, we know who works with her, so they're also bad. Because Hala's been in a bad place.
Yeah.
You can understand that leap in logic.
I also think
more so than what we got in the original movie. It was we're just gonna attack the Skrulls again.
I'm gonna be honest. I also think we could lean into kind of a lot of people's feelings about Captain Marvel from that first movie. I think we can kind of in this first 20 minutes of the movie kind of make her the bad guy.
Yeah.
I think people will be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we don't like Captain Marvel. Oh yeah, this isn't. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know about this. And then when we finally make this emotional turn, we all... Because it's basically when you have a power set like this, the lesson needs to be with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
But in this case, it is with supreme power comes... I think in this, the sentence of Captain Marvel is with supreme power requires delicate restraint. It requires you to have the utmost care. And I think we start with a Carol that doesn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
She can't be willy-nilly with her powers. She has to really think stuff out.
I'm jazzed about this
Well,
already.
'cause here's the thing. With that, with Carol being in an interesting position and being the bad guy, right? Mm-hmm. Now we have our trio with different aspects of Carol's character. Kamala, fangirl. So she's all Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Everyone else can be against her, but Kamala's for her because she sees the best in Carol.
Yeah.
She knows what she could be.
Yeah.
And idolizes that. But Monica doesn't. Monica was abandoned.
Yeah.
By her aunt.
Yeah.
And she sees, she kind of goes along with what the bad guys are thinking about. Like, not that she doesn't love her and doesn't, care for her, want her back, but she was abandoned.
Yeah.
Or she feels abandoned.
Yeah.
And is, kind of holding it against her. So, they can actually have two, viewpoints.
To make it a little bit more active,
Mm-hmm.
we do need to see, after her attempting to try over and over again, I think we need to splice into that montage, a Monica growing up, and a Monica leaving a chair for her at every event. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
We need to see these years pass and Monica get older, and and I think and that ends with her waking up from all of the ramifications of WandaVision and being like, man, you're almost kind of like Captain Marvel. That's kind of cool, huh? And she's like, I don't know if it is. We need to see that betrayal because honest to God, we don't see it in the main movie.
No,
it's
we
not.
don't.
It doesn't land.
Nope, because she just says that it happened.
She just says it.
Yes, that background when they're figuring out what Kamala's like. I saw the map to where they were stars, and I think that was one of the best moments of the whole film. Because Brie Larson, in that moment of her, I saw to the stars, goes through such a journey of, okay, but you know what? It's okay. But your kid, we'll figure it out.
Hey,
I got it. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? This is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you know?
Yeah. So it's
you're from Jersey City.
It was all,
JT represent.
It was so cool, but having them all linked, if we had that whole situation be a little bit longer, maybe we see a little bit of Kamala. Even though we've already got, as an audience, we've gotten a lot of it, but they haven't seen her idolize Captain Marvel, and maybe we see a little bit of Kamala from right after Endgame.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit, and that would be new. That would be new to us as well, because that was the first time she really, would have seen her because she wasn't around when Kamala was born.
Yeah.
So, we see the fangirl and Kamala, fall in love with Captain Marvel. We see Monica growing up. We see Carol trying and failing to right the wrong she did.
Yeah.
And it all leads up to Monica coming back in the hospital.
Yeah.
And then Carol's conversation with Monica's mom.
Yeah.
So we end on the same beat, but we have more character journeys in there. So so they can all kind of loop in to see where everyone's coming from.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
It doesn't need to be too much longer.
No.
But just maybe a minute or so, a couple minutes of some more flashback and a little bit more dialogue.
But honestly, just this circumstance setting sets this movie up so much better. This already, it's cool. We've seen all the stuff that actually matters. We don't see Captain Marvel just seems like she responds to things happening, and all of her actually doing stuff seems to be in flashback form in a way that is frustrating. I'm gonna make a very interesting choice. I think from here, we kind of click into what this movie. There are certain aspects of this movie I think are totally fine.
Oh sure,
there's a lot of track work here that is I don't think really needs a lot of help.
No,
I think one character choice I would make here in order to lead up to this an inevitable emotional breakdown between Monica and Carol. I think Monica should find Kamala's obsession with Captain Marvel really frustrating.
Yes.
It eventually comes down to, I want the scene to break down between Carol and Monica. I want it to start as Kamala fangirling over Carol while Carol is out of the room, and Monica finally losing her shit on Kamala and being like, yeah, she's like, there's all this stuff that you don't know about her. Yeah, she's perfect. She can do all this stuff. She also doesn't show up for your third grade birthday when she said she would. She also she also said she'd come to parents weekend and she didn't do that. Like, she also my mom died without her best friend being there. I still think it makes all of this goes back to my Captain Marvel fix. Just make Captain Marvel gay. Make her and Maria be in love. And then it's all of this is so much more impactful. Her just being a best friend aunt just isn't enough for me.
Sure.
Truthfully.
Well, did you see the comments? Apparently, they deleted the scene with, or like they cropped the scene so that when Valkyrie shows up, did you notice that was edited slightly weird?
It just didn't land right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they cut it so like the fact that they were actually in a relationship was not in it.
Valkyrie and Cap?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, wait.
Okay.
Yeah. The way she hugged her was like, wait a second. That seems like they're really close. Are they best friends or is there something more? I think it's more, but the movie's not telling me that it's more.
I just think if I were in second grade and my mom's best friend was really important to me, but then she just disappeared, I don't think I would think really that twice about it for that much. You know what I'm saying? I think I'd be hurt for a couple of years, but not when I'm 32 would I still really be that worried about it. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. But maybe she was there for your entire childhood.
I understand, but for me, there needs to be more of a connection there.
Maybe
for me
she was family, Jay. I think she was family.
Okay, but they did not do a good enough job of showing me that.
They did not. No, they did not.
Okay.
Because here's the other thing. To go off your idea, later when that scene in the field after they crash land after Aldana.
Yes.
And they had the big talk. Kamala apologizes for not giving Carol the space to be a real person.
Yeah.
But when did she learn that lesson?
She never did.
She never really did. That's just high emotional intelligence on Kamala's part and good honor. But what you just said of having Monica and Kamala kind of like go
But I think Carol's like in the other can hear that conversation.
Sure.
I think she's
It's a small
eavesdropping.
ship.
It's a small ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what spurns on that conversation.
Mm-hmm. And Kamala realizes that she's right.
And that's her small little arc.
And that's her small, because she only needs a small little arc.
I think Kamala is about learning, like she is, hey Kamala, you're going to learn this lesson before I ever even got close to. Like, you're supposed to be the best of us. And that's her like, oh, I've been hero worshiping you and I didn't realize, I think she realizes that being a hero actually has stakes.
Well, she just saw she was pulled away from helping people she wanted to because the ship was full.
Yeah.
And there should have been just a little bit more like Kamala, realization of, oh, this is what it really means to be a hero. Sometimes tough choices have to
you have to make the tough choices.
Yeah.
It sucks, but we can't fit. If we try to fit all the Skrull on this ship, we all die. And that, that's just the reality of the situation. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay. So from a structure perspective,
yes,
we go from all of the stuff with the Supreme Intelligence leading up to this. We get our Carol trying to fix it. We get our Dar-Ben moment to kind of give her.
Well, so we start with all the background stuff, credits, Dar-Ben's scene. Now that we know who she is, cracks the thing, opens the warp gate. Wait a second, she has to have her in a warp gate now. Wait a second, we know who this character is.
Yes,
we know what she just grabbed, and now we know what she just opened.
Yes,
and then Carol shows up. We know everything that's going on. Everyone gets melted, or everyone gets synced up. Everyone starts switching, so that when Carol actually starts fighting the guys on the moon, when they say Dar-Ben's already blah blah blah, we already know what everyone's talking about.
Yes. And then, honestly, I think we kind of just hit the ride now.
Yes. And the only difference I would suggest right now is that when they get to the Skrull / and Kree talks about whatever, that there's a small scene between Dar-Ben and Carol.
Yes.
About, what are you doing?
Who are you again? Like, Carol doesn't even remember her. And I think that's the...
Yep, you're the villain. You're the one that destroyed Hala. I've been trying to save you guys for 10.
I've been trying to save
Hala.
Hala.
To save Hala for 20 years.
I've tried to
failed, and now it's our turn. We are gonna save ourselves. We don't need you.
We saw you try to relight the sun. You can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're taking this atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do what we have to do in order to. Yeah, I think relighting the sun is like a big moment for that like first part of it, and it's like becomes like kind of because that should have been a triumphant moment.
Yes.
They should have. It was just so fucking casual. She just I was like, she could the whole time could have just strolled through. Was like, all right, clap on, clap off your son now. Like boop boop. I was like, that is not sufficient.
Nope.
So we get our Darben and we get our Captain Marvel scene where we establish their main issue, and then Cap and our heroes get their shit rocked.
Yep. Save who they can. Bounce out. Valkyrie comes in. We see that they're in a relationship. It's great. They take the scroll out. Okay, now it's the three of us. They realize same thing in the movie. They realize they had to, Carol and Monica have an actual talk, or with at least the beginning of the talk, which then will get further escalated when we do the memories, because Kamala saw the star chart. They have to they go into the memories. All the things that we just talked about. I think, if
anything, one of the struggles between Monica and Carol after we meet Valkyrie is, if we're fixing it writ large, I think Monica's like, oh, so just
moved on, huh?
Moved on, huh? Just kind of making your way through the galaxy. How long have you guys been together? Is that why you didn't come back? And it's a little more subtle than that.
Sure,
obviously.
but that's good, yeah.
And so we like get another beat in that. We set the problem there that will be fixed later. And then I think we move on. When is the action? The action montage is after the water planet, right?
The action montage, like when they're training. No, it's before. They're training on the way to Aldana.
Okay. So I think I'm actually moving that sequence.
Oh.
I think we go to Aldana. And it doesn't go well.
Sure.
And after they crash land from Aldana, that's where we get. Honestly, the Aldana stuff is perfect. I'm not changing any of it.
Well, they
should sing more. I agree. I think there should be more singing. I think it was spectacular.
Well, I was gonna say during the fight scene on Aldana, they were trying to use the switching to their advantage, and it didn't quite work. But I think they only tried it a couple times. Where
yes,
I think they should probably discuss it on the ship and maybe do a little bit of testing. But I think you're right. I think they need
them learning how to switch should be a consequence of them getting over their nonsense.
Yes.
So I think they should attempt to try and do it. But it's like,
and they get
they're not working together.
Yes.
It's Carol trying to tell everybody what to do. Monica not wanting to be told what to do, and Kamala overcompensating because she really wants to be liked. And so them switching spots fails spectacularly in their own unique ways. And I think after we get the Aldana sequence, we obviously we're a little bit lost in space on this. They crash land in that, and that's where we get our big emotional moment. We get like the final the thing we were talking about earlier with Monica losing it on Kamala, and Monica basically telling Kamala like she has no idea, like she has no grasp on she has no grasp on what she's actually capable of in a you're more powerful than you seem. Like you can, just because you can't fly doesn't mean you can't keep up with us. I think that should be the visual manifestation of her journey. Is like, you can't fly, but you can make stairs. Just Have
you tried making wings?
Have you tried making?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait a second. And it's just
yes, exactly.
Oh my God. She starts scribbling stuff.
But
down.
Also, you don't know
wings
how
are so hard to draw.
you don't know how powerful you are in that you're more powerful than you think. But also, you really have not thought through the consequences of what's happening here. Like, you're not taking this seriously. So we get that healing from Monica to Kamala, but then Kamala obviously brings out the Monica that is hurt with Carol, And that's where I think we insert the memory situation, and we like we have Carol
at the end of Act 2.
You guys need to understand like what I've been going through. Like I need you to understand
because here's
who
the thing.
I am.
There is time at the end of Act 2 for this because
you put the map situation just there. You put like where we know they can figure out that the water planet's next easier. Be like, well, where are we going now? And then we realize the start, and it's a better moment when the star chart is Earth.
Oh, because
snap.
Kamala wouldn't know what Earth looks like from orbit. Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Not. Be like, oh no, they're going to Earth. We gotta go.
Because Dar-Ben opens the wormhole to suck the water to Hala.
Yeah, it's cool. Hello.
And it's cool, but like then the fight happens, they end up on the planet, and they jump right back to Earth. Like there's time there for all the water or some of the water to like get pulled off planet.
Yeah.
That there would be like, okay, the bangle needs to be recharged or something. There is some time here for them to go from Aldana to Earth to then open up another wormhole that they could have okay, let's all talk about all of our shit. Let's train. Let's do the memories. Okay, I think now we're finally
I want the training montage to lead into the finale of the movie.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
That solidifies that we have learned our lesson. We have figured out a way to work together because like them switching powers when utilizing their powers is kind of a metaphor for like their relationship as a 3-person group. So like them figuring that out at the end of Act 2 just springboards us into the finale a little bit better. We can keep all the Flurkin stuff.
Oh, it's great.
Parents in space.
Absolutely. That stuff's all great.
Keep all that stuff.
Love that B storyline.
We got nothing. I got like.
No.
I'm sorry. The Flurkins swallowing people while Barbara Streisand sings "Memory" from Cats. Mwah,
I know what they're doing. That's really good.
Mwah, it's perfect.
Yes.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. Like, there are fewer, funnier bits, at least before Deadpool comes out. There are fewer, funnier bits in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So how do we fix this? Like, I think we kind of got a good idea of how we wanted Act 2 to land.
Yeah.
How do we fix this Act 3?
Easy. It's the same basic thing that happens, right? The fight happens. There's some music over the fight this time.
Yeah.
Because now they
score it.
It was oddly not scored.
We almost can hear them breathing.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Was that a mistake? Why was there no music?
Did that get taken out for the Disney Plus version because it just feels weird?
Right, because
Kamala
goes, I think I like our odds, and then something the bass drops and they attack. Like, yeah, that's all, and they fought well. They did a good job. Dar-Ben gets the second bangle because she mistreated the white flag. She surrendered, and then takesy backsies. I'm gonna crush Kamala's head.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is that at that point, Carol could be like, I can restart for Hala. I can actually restart your son, but I need the bangle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because that's why she needs a reason why she could do it now and not earlier. And the reason is the bangle, the quantum bands.
Yeah.
She could do it with the quantum bands.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them. And so you got to give them to me. You just got to give me the bangle.
Yeah.
And I'll do it. I'll restart the sun for you. And Dar-Ben's like, I don't believe you.
Yeah, why would I believe
Why would I believe you after all this? No, I'm taking both of them. I'm going to steal your son. Or I'm already stealing your son. I don't know. It's a little weird. Dar-Ben gets both bangles and then disintegrates when she uses them.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with because that's like a the bad guy gets what they
They
actually
didn't
think they want.
establish it though that it was going to be too powerful.
Yeah, but also like what was the point? Because she's already stealing the sun.
I will say this: you know
what? Maybe no ticking clock. Dar-Ben does not open the portal yet.
Oh, okay.
We get there in time before she, opens the portal to the sun. So what she was going to do? Maybe she was going to replace the sun. Maybe they were going to swap suns or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, it opens. Yeah, sure. Why not? The quantum bands are crazy effing powerful, right? They apparently created the entire wormhole subspace. Galactic, jump points. Yeah, why not? We'll swap stars.
Yeah, I'm just gonna build a warp point in the middle of this sun with our own and just swap them.
Yep. I need both bands to do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That actually makes
way more sense.
They
stop her before doing it, but then she, threatens Kamala, gives up the bangle. It's like, I don't think you can handle it.
I think
And
yeah,
then-
I think she's in the process of trying to like and open that warp point, and it's like starting to burn her out. And I think Carol is like grabbing onto her, being like I have tried so long to save, like I can do this for you if you just let me help you. And she's like, and there's just there's a obviously mistrust there.
Yep.
And it eventually just, I think Darben just like burns out.
I think she burns out. No, wait, she can't burn out
Why not?
because Monica's got to go.
She can. I mean, it could very well be a situation in that situation she does it wrong and just opens up a multidimensional portal.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
doesn't know what she's doing.
She cracks them and burns out, but I think yes, and she cracks instead of cracking a thing.
Or
open,
as she's trying to do it, she burns out and accidentally does it wrong. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
that's easy.
yeah. But I think at this time, Carol is on her trying to stop her.
Yeah.
It doesn't push her away, but I think she knocks the bands together, creates the rift in realities to the X-Men universe, and then but Carol is like
To the universe.
yeah. But how has the bands in hand, like she was trying to help.
Yes,
She's not floating. I was like, no. She's like, she actually like she disintegrates in her arms.
absolutely.
I'm like, and then she just flies back like, oh no, there's a giant rift in space.
Yeah.
Oh no. Then Monica sacrifices herself to fix everything. It's really awesome. And then Carol goes back to Hala with one of the bracelets on because she's like, Kamala could use both. Because, like, for whatever reason, we don't know why Kamala can use the bands, but she's genetically predisposed to be able to use both of them.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what? I think I only need one of them to amplify my power enough to do this because I've tried this before and it didn't work. Let me just try with one. And
Yeah.
she just has one on. It amplifies her power just enough, but she struggles to fly through the sun. And and we can do like the Superman shots they did, like in Superman Man of Steel, of like him like flying through stuff, but like it's all like he's struggling as I'm flying, and those powers. But she's able to reignite the sun.
Yeah.
Is thrown out.
I think in this. Sorry, I've just been like in.
You were
envisioning the scene in my head.
somewhere. Yeah,
I was. Yeah. Sorry.
Were you storyboarding in your head a little bit?
Yeah, I really was.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, bud.
No, I saw-
I'm so
it's all
sorry.
right.
I was really somewhere. I think the scene. I think the conversation, the conversation, when she is like trying to warp point the sun, and is burning out. I think Carol, like Darben, looks at her and is just. Carol's like, "You're burning up. Like this is going to kill you." And she's like, "You've never had to sacrifice anything for anything you've ever wanted to do. I'm willing to sacrifice myself in order to save my people. Can you say that you would do the same?"
Ooh.
And I
Ooh.
think we get a moment between her and then Carol and Carol looking at Monica and was like, and she's like, "I've had to give up more than you think." And I think that's the healing moment between her and Monica. And she was just like, I gave up my entire life on Earth in order to try and help your people. I may have caused the problem, but I didn't leave. Like I gave up everything that I was as Carol Danvers in order to be Captain Marvel. And I may have not been a good Captain Marvel, but I'm the one you got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's the moment where
Ooh.
it's like,
Yeah,
because
that plants the flag at the end of the movie, exactly where it should be.
yes.
And
Sorry,
then
I really
no, that's
went
really
there.
good. But then she does what she just said she would.
Yes.
She's able to pull it off. Mm-hmm. Maybe she can be a little hurt afterwards, so she needs some time to recuperate. So she heads back to Earth with Kamala.
Yeah.
And then I think the movie ends the same way. We worked really well together, so I had an idea.
Oh yeah. 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 Now man, I wish we'd just seen this movie.
Yeah.
This is much better.
And personally, I would have loved for Kamala to completely mimic Fury's first scene with
Yes.
Iron Man.
Yes.
But it still ends the same way. I want to talk to you about the Young Avengers Initiative. And then Kate Bishop can be like, but then an awkward beat, and then, please? Credits, right?
Yeah, it's just like please? Yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
right?
Because
This was a good movie.
it was fun.
There's
it
a lot good there. It just
did
needed
fun stuff. It
20,
took us fun
25
places.
minutes
Yeah.
of just a little bit more. Just like not in service of anything. Like, it's not a waste of money.
No.
Like these are like good character moments.
We're also we're asking for scenes that are not going to require
This
a
isn't
lot
fluff,
of
yeah.
We're asking I'm asking for me to care as a human being about
Mm-hmm.
you, about these people. I think the action was great, man.
Yeah.
That body switching scene was a triumph. Like what man, I also just like watching Kamala fight. It's so cute.
Yes.
She's such a little cutie. Man, she's all of us. I just love her so much. But yeah. I think we did it, man.
Yes.
I think we fixed it.
This just needed a little bit more love, a little
Just
bit
a
more
little bit more
and
love.
just a
I
little bit more
wanted to
time.
feel these. I care about these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was really excited to see Monica in a movie, and I just feel like it was an afterthought in a way that really bummed me out, because like she's a big deal when it comes to the Avengers in the comics.
Yeah.
Like she's a big deal.
And they have her in a spot where it's also a very big deal. So like we should really care that she's where she is right now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and also you're taking her away from us after like we've remedied this relationship, which also like it ups the stakes of it more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, she found another version of mom. That's cool. I don't care. She had new mommy. She had made peace with other mommy. I don't know, man. All right. My brain is officially leaking out of my ears. Sorry, I don't even remember what you said when I was there. I was just like, what's the dialogue of these bangles? She's grabbing the bangles. She's like, I'm sacrificing everything. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Anyways,
scribble.
well, we fixed it, bud. I think we did
fix
it.
man.
I think this has been our episode. I've had a lot of fun.
Yes, this is good. That's a good episode. Good, and good movie, made just a little bit better.
And next week we're going to be fixing
Doom.
Dune 2 is coming out, so we're fixing Doom. We're fixing the Doom movie for Dune 2.
Yeah, Doom 2 is coming out, so we're gonna fix Doom.
Yeah, Dune 2, Doom. Great. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, fixing Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
because that needs some fixing.
And how. But if you guys know what to do. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, hitting that bell, doing that YouTube. That you do.
Look at you resting the hand on the.
So well. I know. I just found this, and I'm feeling.
Wow.
I'm glad you noticed it. I was like, what a power move.
So gentlemanly. Yeah.
I know. And also, if you're catching this wherever you catch your audio format, if you wouldn't mind leaving us 5 stars, maybe writing a review, they make me happy. And they say that it helps with the algorithm, but honestly, most podcast apps I've ever been on, their algorithm is a nightmare. So thanks for watching us on YouTube, everybody. But as we end every single one of these episodes, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It's the slow quantum bracelets you don't see coming. Sure, why not? Yeah. But
I would criticize you, but I also went into a
Wow.
fugue state during a good amount of what you were talking about earlier, so I can't really have no.
Quasar coming. Watch out, right? Quasar is the one
Yep.
that had the quantum bands.
We will see you guys next week. Bye. Oh boy. Just put your hand up and say bye for the love of God. Bye.
Oh, we're up.